If you've got a crazy idea, you might as well go as big as you possibly can with it. Samsung's Galaxy S6 Edge had two sides of the screen that bent around the sides, which is pretty crazy. The new S6 Edge Plus is that crazy idea gone bigger. At its core, the S6 Edge Plus is just a bigger version of the S6 Edge. It has a stunning 5.7-inch display in place of the smaller 5.1-inch screen, and it's considerably taller and wider than the original. It still has those sloping curved sides that give it the Edge moniker, and it has the same top-notch metal and glass construction as before. It even has the same processor and camera as the S6 Edge, although this time it's packing 4GB of RAM. All of that means it's a really fast phone that's as visually impressive as anything you can buy. But going bigger doesn't solve the core problems I have with the smaller S6 Edge. The S6 Edge Plus is not that practical to hold or use. It's hard to pick up from a flat surface thanks to those sloping edges, and it's even more difficult to use in one hand than the smaller version. Those curved edges may look amazing in product shots, but they distort picture and video on the edges more than ever, essentially defeating the whole purpose of them. And the super shiny glass finish collects fingerprints like nobody's business. Samsung made slightly more of an effort to take advantage of the curved display with the software this time around. The swipe-in shortcut for favorite contacts has been expanded to include apps, making it a bit more practical than before. But it's still not something that's dependent on the screen being curved. There are plenty of third-party apps in the Play Store that let you do similar things on flat smartphones, and it's certainly not enough of a reason to pick the S6 Edge Plus over one of the many other big-screen smartphones out there. One area where the S6 Edge Plus is objectively better is with battery life. The smaller S6 Edge often had trouble lasting a full day on a charge, but that's not a problem here. I'm able to reliably go a full day with the Edge Plus and have juice left in the tank when it's time for bed. The Edge Plus doesn't have a removable or replaceable battery, but it can be recharged any way you want, rapidly with a USB cable or wirelessly with a compatible pad, which makes it super convenient to top up. The S6 Edge Plus gets the basics of a phablet right. It's got a big, beautiful screen, fast performance, a great camera, and long battery life. The software is good, and it's pretty easy to theme it to look more like stock Android if that's what you're looking for. But I just can't ignore the fact that its beautiful, head-turning design makes it harder to use than it should be. A smarter purchase would be the Note 5, which won't turn nearly as many heads, but has the same level of performance with a more traditional and comfortable-to-use display. But if you're buying the S6 Edge Plus, chances are you're not buying it for practical reasons. You're buying it because it just looks damn cool. And hey, sometimes it's cool to look cool.